What's up gamers, Lexu here with another Torchlight Infinite build guide video. This time I'll be going over the starter version of Icy Ring Thea, designed with a low budget for your first character. I'll release the advanced version of this build soon, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to be notified. The reason I'm releasing a starter version first is because there's a common misconception that Icy Ring and Frigid transmission builds require expensive legendaries, and that is definitely not the case. In fact, all the gameplay in this video is using only cheap crafted gear you can easily make yourself. No legendaries required. Let's dive into how this build works with a low budget. Icy Ring and Frigid transmission also work with either Gemma characters, but focus stacking is stronger on Thea. Thea's hero traits include Final Prophecy for 25% additional damage. Predicted Harvest will help us maintain max focus blessing stacks, as well as giving us a double chance to deal double damage. This means that we only need to aim for a 50% chance to deal double damage. Predicted Reincarnation will make it so that we don't have to worry about manually casting our hero ability, as well as giving us regain and additional damage. Predicted Sacrifice allows us to regain tenacity and agility blessings equal to half the consumed stacks of focus blessing. This means for every 2 maximum focus blessings we want to have 1 tenacity and 1 agility. Remember this 2-1-1 ratio for later. We're also getting 40% additional damage pretty much up all the time. Farewell Prophecy will give our double damage a chance to become quadruple damage. We should have a 100% chance to deal double damage in this build with around 8 to 10 focus blessing stacks for a high chance to upgrade to quadruple damage. More math on that later. The talent trees are Goddess of Knowledge, Arcanist, and Warlock. The first major nodes are Beacon for additional spell damage, as well as Insight. In the skill tree you're going for spell damage, mana, skill area, intelligence, although it's probably better to go cold damage at first. And then you're going to end with the focus blessing stack right here. You can come back for the spell skill level, as well as the sealed mana reduction to fix your passive skills later. The Arcanist major nodes are Frostbitten for cold piercing, as well as Mind Focus, which is the primary reason why we're stacking mana. Now you might be wondering why we're replacing the base effect of Focus Blessing that gives the double damage. We can regain the double damage loss here from skills, gear, and even pets instead. More on that later. In the tree we're getting cold damage, attack and cast speed, mana, skill area, another focus blessing, max mana added as energy shield, more mana per int, cold damage and penetration, and mana regain. The major nodes in the Warlock tree are Merciless for cooldown reduction, which works with Thea's hero ability, and Off the Beaten Track for +3 support skill level, which increases the damage of our skills. In the Warlock tree we're getting percent damage, attack and cast speed, max mana and sealed mana reduction, critical strike chance and damage, 2% chance to deal double damage, which will be important for Thea's hero traits, cooldown recovery speed, as well as a maximum energy charge. This will give Frigid transmission 2 charges, and both charges will reset when you freeze for more spammability. Continue to get maximum mana, +1 to all skill levels, and elemental resistance if you haven't capped it already. For skills we have 2 damage sources with Icy Ring and Frigid transmission, as well as 2 buffs with Biting Cold and Fixate. Remember how we lost double damage from focus blessings? Even when only fighting a boss, casting Fixate gives 5 stacks for 25.5% double damage chance. This also gives Bloodbath 5 stacks for plus 21.5% status effect, combined with Mania for another 59.5% status effect. Do all the math and you have 46% chance to deal double damage when you cast Fixate on a boss. Remember, we only need to hit 50% chance to deal double damage because Thea's hero trait doubles that for 100%. We have another 2% from the talent tree, and you can get the remaining 2% from pets if you like. This is how the starter version of the build gets a 100% chance to deal double damage, and if you have 8 focus blessings you have 64% chance for that to be upgraded to quadruple damage. all while being able to get flat cold damage from mana stacking from focus blessings. Spiral Strike is the easiest way to get mobility for mapping early on. Hardened is massive for survivability, with 25% damage reduction. Our first passive skills are Precise Elemental Amplification and Magical Source linked to Seal Conversion to reserve all of our life. Precise Death Pact will cast our Mana Boil and Soul Eating Circle linked to Mania support. And lastly, most of our mana is reserved with Precise Frigid Domain, Summon Thunder Spirit, and Summon Flame Spirit. Some people have suggested using Superpower to get rid of the minions and increase the effects of the buffs. I prefer having the minions around still since they do pull quite a bit of aggro, especially against bosses. First I'll show you the cheap crafted gear I'm using during the gameplay footage of this video. Prioritize getting mana everywhere you can on all the pieces. Then you can scale your DPS further with spell damage, crit, and cast speed. Cooldown recovery is also beneficial to cast Thea's hero ability more often. For survivability, make sure to get Energy Shield as well as capping your resistances. You can get +1 cold skill level on the amulet fairly easily. Skill area is nice to have for quality of life while clearing maps. The chest piece is where you get most of your energy shield from, with 2 energy shield rows and 6% of maximum mana added as energy shield. Try to aim for 3k energy shield as well as 6k mana. All this gear can be crafted yourself as you collect materials while early mapping. Let's test this extremely low budget gear out on the training dummy. At the training dummy, you can see on your buff bar that Fixate gives you 5 stacks when you cast it. This confirms that the training dummy is a legendary monster. The rotation is to cast Biting Cold and Fixate at the same time, hold down Icy Ring while spamming Frigid Transmission. You can see here with the budget gear that I'm already hitting about 30 mil DPS right here. Fairly easily. Not too bad for starting out. Granted, I do have level 20 skills and I'm at level 95 if all my talent points allocated, so you may start off a little lower than this. If you have more currency, you can buy mid-budget legendary items to increase your DPS further. All these legendaries I'm about to show you cost about 30 to 50 Flame Elementium a piece. Touch of the Dark Surge can come with 2 Focus Blessings. Infinity can also give you Focus Blessing stacks. I have an End of Confusion with Focus and Agility Blessing stacks. And finally, Restless Glacier gives you additional cold damage against frostbitten enemies. This is a separate multiplier. Let's put all these legendaries on just to see how well this build scales. You can see on the training dummy test here, we're already breaking over 100 mil DPS just with some mid-budget legendary items. This gives you an idea of how well this build scales into T8 with little investment. If you're lacking damage for bosses, I do have a trick here for you. You can swap Icy Ring to Sparkle for more single target damage. Sparkle without any projectile speed modifiers will stop at a certain distance away from you. You want this to stop right on top of your target. This increases our DPS by about 50% more. Very easy to swap to for Plane Watchers and Realm Lords. As for Pact Spirits, I'm not using anything expensive here. I've only spent money on a battle pass and unlocking a new hero. With about 30 free pulls, I have some level 1 epics as well as a level 5 rare. Use your pets to cap any missing resistances you may have. And then you can increase your damage. As well as some survivability. Later on when you're stronger, you can use drop pets to increase your farming efficiency. And that's all I have for this guide. I hope it helps you make your first Thea Icy Ring character. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the next video where I'll go over the advanced version of the build. Peace out and happy slaying.